Hey, what's up? I'm just making this video to explain kind of why I'm gonna disappear from Facebook for a while. Not that you necessarily care, but some people might. Um, or some people might want to follow my lead or feel like they can't do it and have wanted to. Um, but regardless, I recently posted something about feeling like I was addicted to Facebook, um, like the to checking the app and to listening to or to checking it out all the time. And I just combining that with a lot of things, a podcast I've been listening to, articles I've been reading about what makes us happy, what makes us unhappy, the impact technology is having on our ability to be happy and to live productive lives. I just feel like I can't continue to be on this platform, at least not in the way I have been, which is probably like many of you, using it as entertainment, using it as an escape, scrolling through, filling my mind with a lot of other people's opinions and seeing the latest thing that we're all supposed to be outraged about. None of that's really doing anything for me. But at the same time, I think being a product of this age, as well as, I'm a musician, I'm a teacher, I'm somebody who likes to communicate ideas to other people and to make connections around discussing issues and ideas and things like that. There's an attraction to me to this, to social media, and I think that the way I go about it just needs to change. So one of the ideas I have is just doing things like this, where I might have something to say, something I've been learning about, something I want to share, and rather than just sort of spewing it out in a post that I write real quick, actually sitting down and taking some time and thinking about what I'm going to say and doing it more long form, whether that be in the form of a blog or a video blog like this, because I still want to communicate ideas, but one of my goals is really to have a lot more face-to-face interaction with the people in my life, which is very difficult, and social media sort of provides a shortcut. The reason it's difficult is I'm a parent and a father and a musician, and I have a full-time job, and I said parent and father, but those are the same thing. I mean, I'm a parent, I'm a husband, I do music, I work full-time, I have a lot going on in life, and so I don't always make it a priority to have a social life. The music thing has sort of become my social life, which I've started to realize is sort of problematic in some ways too, because I'm putting too much into that bucket, too much into the marriage bucket as well, as far as what I expect from those things with regard to my own happiness and well-being. And I think I'm not getting enrichment, I'm not getting fulfillment or happiness from scrolling through what other people have to say, or even entering into dialogues and debates about things. Just today, I commented on something and was subjected to people denying the Holocaust or saying it was a big Jewish conspiracy, which, spoiler alert, it wasn't. And just that type of stuff. I don't need to be taking in that, not only those thoughts, but the emotional reaction that comes from being exposed to those things, from people that I don't know anyway. And all these things I'm saying sound really obvious when you say them out loud, but I think some of us are just sort of like me, just seduced by this thing that gives us an illusion of connection that isn't providing us what real human connection can provide us. Maybe in the comments I'll post some links to things that I've listened to or read recently that have, kind of set me off on this way of thinking. But there's a lot of work that I think I've been putting off as far as doing what I need to do to be a more centered and more conscious and more balanced person. And I think, also being a person that has been diagnosed with ADD since I was a very young child, I can't, it's a real easy thing to get sucked into this sort of instant gratification thing that it provides, that social media provides, or this instant feedback anyway, rather than doing the long-term, day-by-day sort of hard work that's required of me right now. So anyway, it is just like anything else. It's an addiction that, I know I've heard about some countries, they have rehab for stuff like this. And some people are getting addicted to online games because the theory is that it provides them with the connection that they're missing in their lives. And I don't really have the energy to argue with strangers anymore, or to argue with anyone anymore, because I don't walk around in my daily life having arguments with people. I have a lot of discussions. I have a lot of things where we might not agree, but we talk it out, and we respect each other. And that's what I want more of in my life. And I think that comes from face-to-face interaction. But again, I also want to share my thoughts, and I think I've been lazy about that too, where instead of actually writing an article or having a well thought out video to post, I just sort of say a snippet of it real fast and put it online, and it isn't really, it's all just sort of there 1 second and gone the next, and you get your like little memories coming up every year or every day of what you did a year ago and 2 years ago and all that. And it's sort of just like, I don't know, it doesn't seem to, it's not like building up some sort of library of things that you've published or anything like that. It's just sort of like sharing, your thoughts in the moment, which also aren't really necessarily something that you're gonna feel or think later. And a lot of times those memory things come up, and I'm just like, I don't know what I was on, thinking about, or what I was trying to convey here, but I really don't feel that, or I don't even understand it, because there's not enough context to know what I was talking about. So, I think this is just sort of a natural phase for me as a person, as a person trying to grow emotionally, spiritually, mentally, to become a better artist, to find other avenues of expression, to possibly find other avenues of income and ways to make community and all kinds of things like that. I just think, and also, there's the whole thing about the justification that I've used for a long time for spending time on social media has been being a musician, and wanting to promote myself and my music. And, I'll probably still do that, at least in terms of like, hey, there's this show, or hey, there's this album, or this video, or whatever. Because as an artist, you want, people to have access to your work. And that's sort of how people have access today. But as far as just like scrolling, looking for a way to join a conversation, thinking of something clever to say that everybody is going to give me a laugh emoji about, like, I don't really think any of that is a substitute for real connection with people. And it takes time and it takes effort, but I don't think that I'll look back, however many years from now, and think it was a mistake to try to make more real connections with people, and that I should have spent more time on the internet. I doubt that I'll feel that way. So, anyway, I'm not like, sometimes when people are like, I'm getting off social media and I'm blah, 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 it's not making me happy, people like are worried about you. Actually, I think this is really positive, and I'm not worried about myself, and you shouldn't be worried about me, because I don't want to be part of this thing that feels like you have to be part of. There's been all this talk about free thinking lately, by a certain famous rap guy, and free thinking really, is it really free thinking when you're just still locked into this whole conversation that everybody is in? And is it really that important? And how much does your voice, when everybody has a voice, whose voice really matters? And is yours making a difference? And I do not experience that mine is making a difference, even though I've posted things before about taking a break from Facebook, and a lot of people say, I appreciate your thoughts and blah, blah, blah. I learned a lot from you, and I appreciate that. And I think, I take that to heart. I don't think that doesn't matter, but, I also think that I have to do what's best for me and for my own well-being. And I'm interested if any of you, have done the same, if you've taken time off, like for real, and what that's like, and what you, or just, what you do to, that makes you a happy and fulfilled person. I think that for a long time, I just assumed, like, I don't know. I was going to say that I don't think I can be a happy person, but I don't really think that. I just think for a long time, I just sort of, I had a lot of ideas about, if I do this, if I do that, if I get to this level, if I get to this point in all these different areas of my life, then, then happiness will come, even though I know that's not how it works, and that you have to be committed to being happy before you that it's something you commit to being and take action out of rather than something at the end of the road. But I still had this, we live in this paradigm that's hard to escape of success and accomplishments equaling happiness. And I think that I, fell into that just like a lot of other people. And that so I just, what I'm trying to get at is I just kept pushing ahead and pushing forward, and I'm just going to keep, I was in I got a master's degree while raising 2 kids and working full time and doing music and playing shows and recording and all that. And I just kept going, and it's just like push, push, push. And eventually, I'll be able to breathe and I'll be happy and everything will pay off. And it doesn't really work like that. I'm still the same person I was back then, with the same hang-ups and issues and things that I haven't necessarily put in the work to complete and to get right with. And I think I just tried to fill that space with what other people think of me, or with entering into these conversations that seem important. And a lot of the conversations are important. I've learned a lot from a lot of people online and from what they've had to say. So I'm not discounting that either. I think that, this is just, I think it's run its course. I think I know what I'm interested in. I know what I think about a lot of things. And not saying I have nothing to learn, but I don't know that social media is the best platform for me to learn it. And I've had a lot of experiences lately that have the lesson behind them has been about, one, letting go of my ego and my attachment, and the other being to trust myself, to trust my own instincts and my own intuition, and to go within when I have a concern or a problem or a question, and not to always look for the answer out there or the thing that's going to fix me or, anything like that. So that's what I'm trying to do, go with what I know to be true and right for me. So this is what's true and right for me. I'm sure it's, understandable to some and confusing to others, and maybe other people can be on social media every day and be happy, but or they feel like they have to be for whatever reason, and so more power to them. And if anybody out there who's my friend and sees this and somehow connects with it and wants to join me and be more be off of social media and be more in the real world, then feel free to let me know, and we can connect and try to do it together and support each other and help each other out. And I haven't even gotten into all of the other, there's other reasons than what I stated even, wanting to be more focused on the present, especially when I'm at home with my family, my kids, not wanting to jump to every notification on my phone. There's just a ton of really good reasons why this is a change that I'm making. And, like I said, you'll still see invites to shows that LXL is playing or that I'm playing, you know, and all that realm of things. I think that some of you appreciate, and I'm still gonna, like I said, I don't know if I will, but you know, I've had a lot of things. I've had a lot of inspiration to create outside of just writing songs, but writing articles, blog posts, making videos. And so you might see some of that from me. I'm not making any proclamations or promises about that right now. I'm not launching a podcast or anything like that. But, you know, I do want to continue to express myself and give it to people. But the day-to-day back and forth, I'm burned out on it. And I hope everyone understands that. And I hope you know how to reach me if you're somebody that wants to, and that we can find time for each other. I have an awesome house that people can come over and hang out at. I have an awesome family and 2 really cool kids, and we can walk down to a lake where I have a kayak, and we can do that whenever. So, and I don't work in the summer, which is a pretty amazing thing. So, I'm around, and if people want to be part of my life, I really encourage you to reach out, and I'm going to be reaching out to people who I want to reach out to and who matter to me, and hopefully there are those of you who know who you are, but I'm not always the best at expressing gratitude for the people in my life, or expressing you know, how I truly feel about people. So that's going to be a important practice for me to take on as this goes on. So 22 minutes of me ranting, if you're still listening, man, God bless you. But bottom line, you can find me off these internets, and if you do that, I would be very excited and grateful to you. And that's it. Peace, y'all.